has said that he's not going to engage in a bailout for a state that has, a problem that it entered the year with, but he will consider expenses that are related to COVID.
Okay, I want to ask about hydroxychloroquine. The new study this week says that the drug was associated with an increased risk of in-hospital death. President Trump, as you know, has been publicly touting the drug and says he's been taking it. I want you to listen to what he said.
I've taken it, I think, just about 2 weeks. I think it's another day. And I'm still here. I'm not a doctor, but I have common sense. If some other person put it forward, they'd say, oh, let's go with it. What do you have to lose? If things don't go as planned, it's not going to kill anybody.
It's not going to kill anybody. Well, we now know, according to the study, the major study, that is not true. The president has been giving medical advice on hydroxychloroquine. Do you think that that is putting American lives at risk?
The problem right now is that we're going up against this enemy, the virus, that we don't know how to treat yet. And we're watching treatments go through the pipeline at hospitals all around the world and aggregating data to try to learn about it. As Dr. Fauci said, I remember once at a press conference, is what we really need is a controlled randomized trial so that we can figure this out. And I think until we see a large-scale controlled randomized trial, there'll be questions. And so unfortunately, we're in a world where doctors all around the world are anecdotally, trying things and watching to see what works, what doesn't work, and then treating their patients accordingly. And I wish we were in a better world where we had all these treatments that had had the gold standard trials.
I mean,
everybody knew for sure.
Have you taken it? You're in the White House and around people. Would you take it, or are you?
We're really not supposed to talk about our personal health here. The thing I can say, though, is that the only reason I do actually talk about my health in this case is that I talked about it with my doctor because I think there is a lot of evidence in the lab that this could help. And then he said, oh, looking at the other stuff you're taking, the interaction, it gives me a concern, so I don't think you should take it. So the point is, just like the doctor, people who are out there are wondering about it, they need to talk to their doctors about it and make sure it doesn't interact with other things they're taking. And that's why otherwise I would have just said, why are you asking about my personal health? I thought that I should use it as an opportunity to remind people that everybody needs to go talk to their doctor about it if they think they want to take it.
Well, that is very good advice. Many schools and daycares and summer camps across the country are closed, and they're staying closed. And it's making it particularly difficult for families, especially women, who balance caregiving and trying to go to work. Men as well, but women seem to be bearing most of the burden there. And this is a real struggle for families across the country. How are you as administration going to deal with this?
Right. Well, it's something that Dr. Birx and the task force of the CDC are studying very, very closely. I've been engaged in a number of phone calls with Dr. Birx and leaders of schools, of major universities and so on to start to think about what kind of testing they need to safely open up. And absolutely, both in terms of the mental health of our kids and the health of our society, it's a very, very high priority for this White House to try to get life back to normal as fast as possible. And that includes getting summer camps open and getting schools open in the fall. And so it's something that we're studying very closely, and I would expect that there'll be guidelines to help people think about that, to help state and local governments think about that sometime soon.